Okay, so we'll transition over to the panel discussion, but let me first introduce the moderator for the discussion. Dr. Suzet M. McKinney currently serves as the Chief Executive Officer and Executive Director of the Illinois Medical District, which is one of the largest urban medical districts in the United States. She is the former Deputy Commissioner of the Bureau of Public Health Preparedness and Emergency Response at the Chicago Department of Public Health. Suzet serves on numerous committees and advisory boards and is co-chair of the National Academy's Forum on Medical and Public Health Preparedness for Disasters and Emergencies. And she's also a member of the National Academy's Standing Committee on Health Threats Resilience. She serves on the Science and Security Board for the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, the Board of Scientific Counselors for CDC's Office of Public Health Preparedness and Response, as well as on FEMA's National Advisory Council. She's associated with the T.H. Chan School of Public Health at Harvard and is an adjunct assistant professor at the University of Illinois at Chicago School of Public Health. So, Suzet, with that, can I turn it over to you?
Thank you, KG, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you again for being here and welcome. I am both honored and excited to be here with you today to moderate our discussion on global progress to prepare for the next influenza pandemic. I am particularly excited to be here because I flew out of Chicago this morning in the middle of a snowstorm, so it's a miracle that I made it. I'd like to pause for a moment and just say a great big thank you to Lori for such an amazing and sobering presentation. I think you have set the stage for our panel discussion today marvelously, and as a result, I will not bore the audience with all of the prepared remarks that I had made. But what I will tell you is that in 2009, when H1N1 occurred, and in 2015, when the Ebola outbreak occurred, I was a local public health official in the city of Chicago and the lead public health official in charge of our city's operational response to each of those events. I firmly believe that our preparedness efforts from 2001 up until the time of each of those events had prepared us well for our response. But my colleagues and I were all so incredibly grateful that neither of those events were as horrible and as severe as they could have been. Today, in 2018, greater solutions in the areas of systems that would enable us to track the progression of new outbreaks, vaccine production, the issue of a universal flu virus, and resource shortages, both human and equipment-wise, are still very much needed. And so once again, I am honored to moderate this panel discussion because this afternoon we are joined by an esteemed panel that will discuss the global progress and benefits of driving science, public health, global governance, and cross-sectoral alliances for pandemic influenza preparedness. I am excited to hear their thoughts and confident that their insights will bring a more focused perspective to this global public health problem and move us all to closer solutions. So with that, let's get started. I would invite all of the panelists to come to the stage while I introduce our first panelist.